throaty one, Kenobi. You're my only hope. Hello! So I'm back with another episode of But Make It Vintage, which has been misheard as But Naked Vintage, which I think is honestly hilarious. And the plan today is Princess Leia. I have dabbled with dressing as Leia before. I did it for a Halloween party a couple years ago, but obviously that wasn't really on the level that I like to bring my cosplays to, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity. And when thinking about Princess Leia and kind of what era I wanted to reimagine her in, I kind of threw around a couple ideas. I have done a couple in the 30s and 40s era, and I have more plans to do more characters in that era, so I didn't really want to do that. I have wanted for a while now to venture into historical sewing. Now, I am still a novice in sewing. I know I always say that, but there is so much that I don't know, and I have never done a historical sew before. Am I biting off more than I can chew? Very possibly. Now, my first thought was the Regency era because of the colors and kind of the flowiness of her white robe, but then I kind of remembered seeing a few of those floating around the internet, and while I see no problem in also creating something that someone else has created, I kind of wanted to go a little bit more unique with it. So when I did that and I thought of historical fictional figures, I thought of Jane Eyre. How her braids kind of do like a little loop and then into a bun. I got a pattern. Tell me she doesn't look like Julia Stiles, and I'll tell you that you're absolutely wrong. This is the dress that I want to recreate, obviously with different materials. I'm very nervous. Normally when I get a pattern and I read kind of the description and everything that it requires, it's usually pretty simple. Get a couple hooks, maybe 4 buttons. No big deal, but maybe a zipper or 2. This one, dress has fitted, lined, boned, bias front bodice with overlapped pleated drape, side, back seams, tabs, waistband, gathered skirt by hand.
Side, front, and side back seams, no side seams, 3-piece, lined, pleated bias, gathered sleeves with button loop, piping, binding, and back hook and eye closing.
So needless to say, I am a little intimidated. Historical sews are not going to get any simpler, so I think it's time for me just to dive headfirst into this and see if I can do it. I reviewed the instructions this morning. For the most part, it doesn't seem as complicated as I thought it would be. It's just a lot of different pieces and different... Nope, lost it. Basically just a lot of different moving parts here. It probably won't turn out perfect, and it probably won't be completely historically accurate, especially when it comes down to the undergarments, because I do have a corset that I'm going to wear, and I do have a petticoat that I ordered online. It is not a historical one. I had to get one that would kind of get here fast. Please don't yell at me. And on that note, I know the tendency for comments on sewing videos tend to go along the lines of, oh, you sweet newborn sunflower seed. I understand that when you're watching someone not as experienced as you want to give constructive criticism. And that's all well and good, but let's just remember that I am a grown woman and not a kindergartner who decided to finger paint the sky the wrong color. We all have to start somewhere. I am fragile. I am learning. Be nice to me. So my fabric is currently washing and drying right now, so I can't really show that at this exact moment. But I do have boning that I need. I also needed piping, twill tape, hooks and eyes, and then I also have some extra fabric for the lining and for the contrast. So I think the plan for today is get my design all figured out, which is pretty simple, but I'm going to add a couple things. Then I am going to cut out all the pattern pieces, pin it to my fabric, get it all cut out. And then I think that's it for today. It's kind of what I like to do so that the next day I can just dive right into the sewing aspect of it and start putting everything together. So yeah, that's the plan. I am scared, but hopefully the force is with me. So let's get started. Okay, so for the design phase, I am pretty simply sticking to the illustration on the pattern. So it's going to be the same dress, but instead of the pattern that she has, it's just going to be a simple white muslin. And then to add a little Leia flair, I want to remake her little belt. And then for the hair, like I said, we're going for the Jane Eyre braids. That, my friends, is a whole lot of pattern pieces. Oh my, that's not even including the skirt panel. Help! Pray for me. You know, out of all the places for you to lay down, I'm gonna have to say that probably the worst. Day 2. So I didn't finish cutting out all the pieces yesterday because there are a buttload. Because not only are there the pieces for the outside of the dress, there's also the lining. I just drool. It'd be like that sometimes. This doesn't make a lot of sense, especially for contrast that they had me buy, which was, I got like a silky material. They have this huge piece of fabric, and then you're only using 1/3 of it? What? Also, I did not look at the body measurements until right now. These are completely made up sizes. I'm usually a size 6 in things, and I had a problem with my Dorothy dress not fitting, so I was like, okay, I'll size up 2 sizes. That should be plenty. But no. I cut out a size 10, which means I will need a 25-inch waist. So yeah, I am probably going to run into plenty of problem down the road. We're gonna try to make it work. I know. Oh, honey, you naive, freshly made fruit salad. 1000% my fault. I wanted to challenge myself to get this done within 4 days, and that was silly of me. So yeah, I'm gonna continue doing that, and then I'll check in after. Why, if I only need this much, do you make me buy this much? Butterick, explain! I have everything cut out, I believe, and I have it all labeled because I'm an old lady and otherwise I would not remember what is what. So I have all the main pieces and then I have the lining pieces. Excuse me. The fabric looks like literal garbage right now. I did wash and dry the muslin, but now it looks like napkins. So don't worry, I will be ironing these before I start sewing them. So starting off, first things first, I am going to do the continuous bias, which is what was on the silk. So it's just one long strip of fabric, and that's for the piping. And then after that, we can start on the bodice. Then we will do the pleats that go on the front. So like these pleats right here. Let's get started. I am making the executive decision to not make this cord. So basically what I was supposed to do was take this silky cord that I got, wrap it in this contrast, make sure it stays in the center, and then sew as close to the cord as I can. And honestly, so far I have taken the 2 lining pieces in the front, attached them, pressed my seams, and then I attached the left side of the bodice to the lining. I have to do the pleat on the left drape, bring all these little circles together and then press them. Hopefully I can do that neatly. I did it, I think. So this is the bodice so far. Pretty cool. And now I just have to do the same thing to the other side. Look at that. So moving on from the front, it's now time for the back. It's now nearing the end of the day, and I don't want to call it quits quite yet. I did order some piping trim that's already all set, 1-day delivery, so it should be here tomorrow, which honestly I'm still not used to, and I think that's pretty crazy. Pretty much anything I can do without the piping trim for now, because that'll be here tomorrow, so that's the plan. Day 3. So I'm still waiting on the cord piping. Until that comes, I have been working on the other stuff that doesn't require that, which is kind of tough because I do need that to put together the back of the dress. I did sew all the panels of the skirt together. What I have to do now is make 3 rows of hand gathers. Tried to iron this as well as I can. I stand by my statement of probably not choosing the best fabric. Because this fabric seems to wrinkle just by breathing on it. Also, I burned myself when I was ironing this. And I'm not saying we should have sympathy for Marv in Home Alone, but that shit hurts. So I started to put together the sleeves and, Do you want to explain yourself? Why your muddy little toesies are on my fabric? So far with the sleeves aligning to the bottom sleeve. Now, no, get your filthy paws off of my fabric, sir! Now I think I'm going to gather the middle part of the sleeve, and then I'm going to make 3 different gathering lines, and it should look like that. And then eventually, it'll look like that. So. My piping came, which is awesome, and way easier and more uniform than I would have been able to do manually. I was able to take the sleeve and then pin the ruffles facing downward. Then on the other side, when you flip it right side up, there's some of the piping here. Here she is. Unfortunately, it is July 3rd, and I suppose I should go out and socialize and do stuff. So I do have to stop for today, but I did make some good progress. I mean, the skirt is looking like a skirt, and we have most of the sleeves. I still have to do the top of the sleeves, and that requires some pleating, kind of like this. Have to do the waistband, oh, and the whole back. Oops, forgot about that. I'm pretty confident I can get this done tomorrow. It is July 4th tomorrow, so hopefully I can put aside a few hours. Dang it, America! Signing off for today. Day 4. You see this face? This is the look of pure determination. Who's gonna get this dress done today? Me. I took a break on July 4th, but now I'm back and I am very excited to finish her. I think first things first, I'm gonna do the back, then connect the front and the back of the bodice so I can actually know if this thing's gonna fit me or not, because I think that's slightly important. And also I want to make the Leia belt, but that shouldn't take too long. Let's do it. Okay. I have put the back pieces together, finished up the top with a little bit of trim. The next step is to put 2 pieces of boning right here and then in the front. The sleeves pretty much all set. I put the waistband on and I lied. The boning went on the side seams, not in the front. And it does fit, surprisingly. So I need to attach the sleeves to the bodice. We're getting there. So much hand sewing. Who can say sustenance? Ew. So in theory, what I have to do is simple. Attach the skirt to the waistband. I have to hand sew it, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but there has been a lot of hand sewing in this project, so I just needed to lay down for a little bit. It's interesting because I didn't think I had that much work left to do on her today, but the work that I did have to do is just very involved. Did I just get lipstick all over her? Ah, shit. I need a Tide to Go pen. Stat. I'm having fun. Okay, I guess I'll start sewing the skirt to the waistband now. You done yet?
The belt itself was pretty easy. I just cut what I needed out of fake leather, sewed it, and then created these shapes from foam sheets. And then handy dandy googly eyes. And this is a really neat trick for pretending that there are rivets in armor or anything like that. So I just spray painted them silver and then glued them onto the belt.
Hello. Transformation time. I'm looking good. It is the final day and time for the transformation, which I think will be interesting because yes, I still want it to look like Carrie, but I also want it to kind of fit in that time period. I don't think it should be too big of a problem. It's not like Princess Leia has really, really dramatic makeup or anything. She just has some eyeliner. So first things first, I'm gonna put on some foundation because woof. Okay, and before I do anything else, I'm going to use some bronzer just to darken out my skin tone a little bit. So as I usually do, I think I'm going to start off with eyebrows because that always gives me a good base to start off with. Did I grab the wrong one? You bet your bottom I did. I'll be back. So Princess Leia's eyebrows are actually pretty similar to Dorothy's, where they start kind of here, are pretty thin, and extend a little bit past her actual eyes. So wow. So now I'm gonna shape these up a little, try to thin out this one because I messed up a little, and I'm doing that with some concealer. And these obviously aren't going to be as clean as if they were my actual eyebrows or if I blocked them out, because my eyebrows are thicker than this, so there are some, you know, covered up hairs in there. But I am not blocking out my eyebrows. Not doing it. Good enough for now. Let's move on to the eyes. Start with a base of just a light brown. And then she's wearing some eyeliner. Obviously isn't period authentic, but
to what new horizons can we look now? Where are tomorrow's opportunities?
heavy bottom eyeliner and no top eye makeup. Hello, 8th grade Rachel. Okay, so I'm just gonna put black eyeliner on the top. Okay, I might come back to this. I think I'm gonna do some contouring first. And to do that, I'm going to take a very, very light shadow and just kind of build up. First, I'm gonna go with the nose and the brow bone. Her nose is pretty similar to mine, but it's a little thinner and then goes out like that. And then her brow bones are pretty prominent, so I'm just gonna try to replicate that. As you can see, I futzed around with the eyebrows for a very long time. I'm still not sure that I got them right. They still don't look very Leia to me. I'm gonna add some blush, because again, I think a lot of times that's what brings the look together for me, and she wears a whole heck ton of it. Now I think I'll do the lips. To do that, I'm going to draw it out with a liner. Carrie's lips are a little longer than mine, it seems. And you're done. Then I'm going to fill that out with a lipstick.
The frontiers of the future are not on any map. But now, what's ahead of us?
She does have a couple freckles here and there, so... to the hair, maybe come back to the face later. Prepare to be very inexplicably attractive to me. I mean, I tried to warn you. For this hair, I'm thinking I will part it here and then have this kind of braided and going up like so. Kind of having that Jane Eyre swoop if we can. It's coming together. And then for the back, I'm hoping it's as simple as just being able to kind of twist and make a little tiny little bun. I'm hoping that I can just bobby pin these. Okay, and then hopefully I should be able to do this whole thing. Something like that. I might go in and just do some finishing touches before I do the final reveal. Let's try this dress on.
Uses the Force. This is the weapon of the Jedi. The Force will be with you. Always.
Wrap-up time. So yes, ta-da! Not sure if you could notice, but after I stopped filming for the transformation part, I did go in and fix the eyebrows a little bit more. Hers are a bit more slanted than I had them, so I think it did help. The dress fits, which is always a good thing. It is a little loose, which is just proof that the measurements provided by Patterns are absolute bullshit. I will talk about a couple of the flaws that it does have and what I want to improve on next time. The material is not the best. I will definitely go for a less wrinkly material, because like I said, you omit so much as a breath and this fabric wrinkles. It also attracts a ton of dog and cat hair. If I attended a ball back then, I think I would be probably the talk of the town. Who is this mysterious stranger with a tissue paper dress and various furs of wild animals? I need to invest in some seamstress chalk or something to mark up the
the fabric while I'm working on it and not use a pencil or pen like I have been using. I've gotten away with it before, but now that this is pure white, you can see where I've left my marks on, you know, where to pleat things, and the sleeves are not completely the same. This one is a lot poofier. I am so happy it's done. I naively gave myself 4 days to do this, and I quickly learned that was a gross underestimation. Oh, Rachel, you sweet, sweet de-shelled hermit crab. For my first historical sew and my first big historic dress like this, I am so happy. I have always wanted to make a gown like this, and it's really cool. By the end of this week, I think I could sleep probably for the rest of my life, but she's done. That is it. I hope that you guys like watching. These are my favorite videos to make, so even though they make me want to cry sometimes. I do have a lot more plans for more But Make It Vintages, but if you guys have any requests or any ideas, be sure to let me know. I love you guys whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every week and we have fun here. Anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Which has been... I have dabbled... historical... So my fabric is... This is gonna take me 27 years. Watching little kids get puppies is the cutest thing in the world. He was so happy. Thank you. Thank you. It's a happy cry photo. So yeah, did I just drool? Yes, I did. Ham boning. Mimi. Can you say that? Okay, go. Help me, Frody One Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You need to be like distressed.
Help me, Frody One Kenobi.
You're not in the south, you're distressed.
Help me, Frody One Kenobi.
Stay.